What's up? I got nobody here but a thumbs up already. So someone gave me a thumbs up and left. How's it going, guys? Anybody coming in? I'm still not quite ready here. I think we're getting it. There we go. We got somebody. All right. Happy Sunday night. I think it's Sunday night. I'm so confused. My lighting in here is a little weird. I didn't turn all the lights on. Crap. We're gonna have a little bit of a dark one tonight, I think. Let me go get the other light. Hang on. That's a little bit better. We got 3 people. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Happy Sunday. Happy almost Christmas time already. Crazy. Snuck up on me. I'm not a big Christmas person anymore, but I know a lot of people are. So Merry Christmas to everybody. If I don't see you before then, of course. The year's almost over. It's been crazy. It's been a wild year. Good year, though. Just, it's weird how the older you get, the quicker it goes by. It's pretty amazing. Is there anybody out there? I see people in here. There's nobody's talking yet, but it's all right. I was running a little bit late getting in here. I didn't realize how late it was. I set up the stream earlier, and then I was doing other stuff, and I just looked down, and I had like 2 minutes to get ready. So I'm still getting settled, so this works out pretty good anyway. We had a pretty nice day today. I think it's like in the 40s out there, so pretty nice, 50s maybe even. Pretty nice weather today, although I slept through most of it because I did like a 15-hour shift. And then I had to come home and I grabbed a couple hours sleep, and we were going to get up and go to a movie, the matinee. We're going to go see Ford versus Ferrari, but I just could not get my butt out of bed, so we did not go. So I missed it. I'll figure out a way to catch it here eventually, though. Unfortunately, missed it. Is the chat even working, or nobody's saying anything? I did set it up for chat. So we've had the Tesla for 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, 4 or 5 days, whatever, 5 days, I guess. I haven't done much with it. Kim's been driving it. I drove it a little bit earlier today, a couple times. Still learning all the little tricks to it. It's a little bit of a learning experience because it does everything a little bit differently than most cars. So it's a little strange, but I'm getting used to it. I really enjoyed it today. Really had a good time in it. It's really quick and good little car. Kind of like it. I'm pretty happy with it so far. Chad, hello, Chad. What's up, man? How's it going? You guys probably had the decent weather up there today too. It's beautiful here today. I slept through most of it, but when I got up, it was nice. I went to set the temperature on my phone app for the Tesla because I wanted to go out and drive it. So I got on the phone and went to put the car at like 65 degrees, and it was already at like 59, and it had been sitting there all day. So I was like, oh, it must be pretty damn nice outside. So it was really nice. So we got to drive around for a little while, screw around with it, have some fun. Still a bunch of stuff I got to figure out how a lot of things on there work, but it's a fun car so far. I really like it. My delivery video kind of sucked because nothing went as planned. It was a day and a half early. The guy parked the truck around the corner, which I didn't know, and he drove it over because he didn't want to bring the truck down our street. And just everything I had planned kind of didn't work out, but I made a video anyway. But it was kind of a mess. It's okay though. And things happen like that, I guess. So I watch everybody else's home delivery videos, and it's perfect. The truck pulls up, and the guy gets it off the truck, and it can't happen to me. He's 2 blocks away getting it off the truck. I had no idea. If I'd have known, I'd have run over there. But it all worked out. Yep, yep. I had cameras out in the yard and facing directions so it would catch the truck coming up the street and everything. All of a sudden, I look over and there's a white Tesla pulling up in front of the house. I was like, "Oh, there it is." Yeah, well, crap happens. Funny story of my life. That's all right. There's worse things. It's here and everything looks in good shape and happy with it. So then he put it right in the middle of the driveway, and we share a big wide driveway with the neighbor, and he put it right in the middle, which is no problem. After he left, which takes about 2 seconds. He pulls into the driveway, has your sign of paper, and they're gone. So anyway, he's gone, and I hop in the car to move it. No, nothing yet with the neighbors, but I jump in the Tesla to move it, and I can't get it to go. It won't go in gear because I'm not doing it right. Didn't have my phone app set up yet, and I had to use the little card. There's a little key card, and I wasn't using the key card right. It was showing me on the screen what to do, and I was trying to do what it was saying on the screen, but I wasn't doing it right. And then I was like, "Oh my god, how embarrassing! It's right in the middle of the driveway. I can't get it to move." If the neighbor lady pulls up to pull in or out, she might have been in her garage. I'm not even sure. But either way, I would have had to tell her, "Yeah, I just got a brand new car, and I'm not sure, not sure how to move it yet." It took me a couple minutes, but I got it figured out. I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" I don't want to have to tell somebody, "Yeah, this is my new car. I can't make it move yet." But yeah, I got to figure it out. The little card. I was setting the card where it was supposed to go, but then I wasn't waiting long enough to. It takes a few seconds for it to do its thing, and I was rushing it too much. Hey Becky, what's up? What's going on? We got a few people. Nobody's talking. Only two. How's it going, Becky? I just did a couple of 15-hour shifts the last 2 nights in a row, so I'm a little out of it. I came home and slept for like 3 hours earlier or something like that. I'm still real tired though. And next week I will be doing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night 15-hour shifts. Like Thursday night, Friday morning, Friday night, Saturday morning, and Saturday night, Sunday morning. It gets to you after a while. I forget what day it is when you're in the middle of all that. Yeah, we can start the party. I was just talking about the Tesla, Becky, and how when they delivered it, they put it right in the middle of the driveway, and we share a driveway with the neighbor. And I was trying to move it after they left, and so in case the neighbor came home or had to leave or come home, I don't know if she was in her garage or if she was out somewhere, but either way, I needed to get the car out of the middle of the driveway, and I couldn't make it move because my phone app wasn't set up yet for it, and I was trying to use the key card, and I wasn't doing it right. And I was kind of like, "Oh, this is going to be super embarrassing when someone has to get through here, and I have to go tell them that we got a new car, but I can't make it move." But I figured it out after a couple of minutes. But it was just kind of embarrassing. It's like, "Oh, we're off to a good start with the car. I can't make it move." But I got the phone all set up for it now, so I don't got to worry about that key card anymore. They say to still carry it on you in your wallet or whatever in case your phone dies or something like that. But as long as you got the phone on you, you can drive the car. Yeah, I got. Let me get on the internet and see how to move this car. That was about what I felt like. It's fun though. It's a fun little car. Like I said, I haven't driven it that much yet, but um, Kim's taking it to work and stuff like that. And then she took it shopping, Christmas shopping yesterday, and she went to one of the Tesla superchargers. I didn't get to experience that, but she said that was pretty cool. It just takes a few minutes and charges it all the way up, which is nice. And I think it was about $5 to charge it up. Although we're supposed to have 1,000 miles free charging, and it didn't. It charged us $5, so I'm not sure. So for $5, it got about 240 miles worth of charge or something. The entire cost of the Tesla was 40,700 and something. Yeah, I know. I could have just grabbed a kid. Well, see, school was going on. I could have grabbed a teenager, or just like a 10-year-old or a 6-year-old off the street, and said, "Hey, how do I move this car?" That's true. Someone's got their Nebraska driveway, got their car. Yeah, that happens a lot in the winter when people are warming up their cars. It's a good opportunity for someone to hop in and take off. That's now illegal in Colorado Springs, where I used to live. They won't let you warm up your car anymore unless you're sitting in it. You can get a ticket if you're warming up your car without being in it, because there's so many car thefts, which I think is ridiculous. If you want to warm your car up, you got to be able to warm your car up. But too many laws. I think warming the car up isn't just for comfort; it's also a safety factor to me. You like to be able to see out all the windows, have them defrosted, as well as being comfortable in the car is also a safety factor, I believe. I don't think getting in the car when you're freezing cold and the windows are foggy and you can't see very good and all that stuff, and then trying to drive is a very safe idea. Yeah, the cops can leave their cars running, of course. We leave ours running at work. When I start a shift, we're not supposed to shut the car off unless we go into a store or something like that. Then we do. But even if I get out of the car to go into like one of the depots or a hotel where we drop people off or anything, we leave everything running. So most times the car never gets shut off in the time I start. So it'd be like a 15-hour shift. We never shut it off. Hey, John Paul, what's up? Yeah, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to everybody. And I'm kind of a Scrooge when it comes to Christmas lately, but Merry Christmas anyway. I was feeling bad earlier talking to Kim about Christmas because I'm not that into it. She's kind of into it more than I am, and my kids are all my youngest one's 17, and I was just talking to her earlier about all the crappy Christmases that they had to endure back when I don't even want to talk about it. I'm starting to get upset again. We had some pretty rough times, and uh, they didn't have some of the best Christmases ever. I don't know why I think about that a lot, and I get kind of upset. Good night, John Paul. Thanks, man, and Merry Christmas. Yeah, Chad, I hate to think if they had, I don't know. Yeah, they do have some hours on. The one I'm driving right now has 200,000 miles on it. So, considering how many miles it has on it, I'd hate to think how many hours that thing's ran. Kevin, hey, Kevin, what's up? No, the Scat Pack doesn't seem jealous. It's she's still number one. uh, we call the Scat Pack. Her name is Brandy. Kim likes to name the cars. The Tesla is Honky because she's white. But so far, I haven't had the Scat Pack out in a few days. I gotta take her out tomorrow and get fuel because Kim will probably drive that to work in a couple days here. So I think it's down to about less than a quarter tank. So I'm gonna go get some fuel in the Scat Pack tomorrow, which will probably also mean I will drive her around a little bit. I think the weather's supposed to be good again, so give her a little workout. Todd Snake, what's up? Thanks for coming in. Hello. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Todd Snake. Appreciate it. Having a lot of fun with it so far. I haven't got to drive it a lot, but I've been watching video, trying to learn a lot about it because it's a kind of complex little car. Yeah, I know, Chad, but I thought we think it's funny. So everyone names their white. Everyone like on all the Tesla forums, all the white Teslas are named Casper or Pearl or or something like electric, like Sparky or something like that. So we thought we'd come up with something a little different. I'm not really into naming cars, but Kim is, so that's cool. Hey, Fat Boy R6, what's up? How's it going down there? I haven't been through Salina in a couple of weeks. I was going through there like 3 or 4 times a week for a while. I wish I could have enjoyed more of today, but I got off work at I got home at like 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m., something like that. Then I went and laid down until for a little while, then fell asleep for a couple hours, 2 3 hours, and got up, and it was like most of the day was gone. Still waiting on your car, Fat Boy. Get the new engine. Still waiting, huh? Any what's the word on how long it'll be? Did you tell me that before? I can't remember. What's up, Shyster? Hello. It was supposed to be done Monday last week. Okay, yeah. So it's just delayed. Stuff like that always seems like it gets. There's always something. There's always some reason. It just seems like everybody that has something going on like that, it always takes longer. So whatever they say, then add some onto that because that just seems to be the way. Yeah, Todd Snake. I have the Dynamax mini race bullets in place of the mid mufflers. I like the sound a little bit better than the straight uh, delete. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I'm hoping I get into a little bit more of a holiday spirit. I'm just not feeling it, but we'll see. She's got the house all decorated nice. She's got the outside decorated. She's got the little projector lights up on the house with snowflakes and Santas and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. Trying to. It's sneaking up on me. I think for one thing, I haven't really thought much about Christmas till today. Yeah, add a few days to whatever they say about anything like that, whether it be car repairs or home improvements or there's a lot of things that are that way. I was talking about that the other night with this other thing I have going on, which I'll tell you about soon. But we were talking about some stuff, and we were wondering how long it would take. And I was like, well, just add 50% to whatever you think, because that's probably that's pretty accurate usually. When they shipped the motor, they didn't ship the gaskets. Oh, so we're waiting on that. Oh, there's a bushing too that didn't come with. Yeah, just so some of it, there's just parts that just weren't there yet or didn't come with. Oh, sorry to hear that, Shyster. Sorry to hear that, man. Lost my mom a couple of years ago. Becky, you took your car out the other day. It was only 20 degrees and the tire sensors went. Oh, well, yeah, they're probably all low on pressure. And yeah, the temperature fluctuations in tire TPMS sensors don't, and tire pressures don't like each other. I've been getting spoiled by the newer cars. This Expedition I'm driving at work now. It's an older one. We got a bunch of brand new ones, but of course I'm driving an older one, which I don't mind. Um, but it has the older TPMS system where it doesn't tell you which tire is low. It just keeps coming on and telling me there's tire pressure issues, and it's 15 degrees outside in the middle of the night in the middle of nowhere, and they all look fine. And I got to go figure out which one of those four tires in the freezing cold is the one that's kind of a pain in the butt. Get spoiled by the newer stuff where it tells you all four of them and what pressures are in each one and all that. And I pulled out a gauge and checked them all the other night, and I still can't figure out why the pressure thing's coming on, but because they all seem to be fine and they're all within a couple pounds of each other. That boy said, Becky, oh, they gave you a Jeep Patriot to drive. Cool. So at least they gave you something to drive. Sweet, Todd. $500 cash yesterday. Nice little bonus. Cool. That's pretty awesome. I went to work for a new company once. I worked for a Miller Brewing Company distributorship, and we got bought out by a Coors distributor, so it became a Coors and Miller distributor. And I was one of the few people that came over from the Miller distributor and got hired at the Coors distributor. There's only about, I think, 10 of us or something, or 12 of the whole company that ended up going over there to work. And I think the switchover was like December 12th or 15th or something like that. And so we had our Christmas party at the new company like 2 days later. We didn't even know anybody. We had barely, and as a sign of being all on the same team or whatever, they gave us new guys all got the same Christmas bonuses as the other people, and it was a percentage of the profits from that year and a bunch of other stuff. And it was like $2,500 and a bunch of beer and food and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I'd only been there for, like I said, a couple of days, so that was pretty cool. Because we were all sitting there thinking, okay, well, we're not getting anything. These guys have all been working for this company for years. We just came over 2 days ago, but it was a very cool gesture. It was pretty nice of them to do that. I've always still remembered that. That was 15, 12, 16, that was quite a while ago. Let's see. Shyster says debate on Jeep or sell. 07 Ram 57. Well, at least you have good decisions to make, Shyster. It's always good to have options and like, you're not deciding between a Pinto and a Vega or something. Fat Boy says, I've had your car since last week of November, and here it is the end of December. Well, if they get it done quick, that won't be too horrible. You heard a lot. I heard a lot. You hear worse things than that. Just hang in there. You'll have it back before you know it. You've been working there for 39 years, machinist, CNC lathes, and mills. Started right out of high school. Cool. Nice, man. Nice. I'm feeling a little quiet tonight. You guys are going to have to. I'm so out of it. It doesn't seem like a Sunday night for some reason. The work schedule's been kind of weird, so I'm having to stop and think what day it is half the time. Because I've been working from 7:30 at night until about 10 the next morning. So I go over two dates, and it's got me all out of whack. Yeah, my son made it in. He was supposed to be in. I was supposed to pick him up in the morning, but he called me and said he wasn't coming in until about 10 that night because he missed his flight. He had to take a Uber to the bus station and then a bus station or something to the airport and all this crap. Anyway, it was snowing and blizzardy there where he was coming from, and he didn't get to the airport in time. They wouldn't let him check in. Although he was trying to check in, they wouldn't let him. He could hear them calling him over the loudspeaker. His flight before they took off, they were calling him and a couple other people that weren't on there yet to see if they were there, and he could hear his name being called, but they wouldn't let him check in. So he had to call me and tell me not to drive to Omaha till later. So I had to do some other stuff during the day, and then went and got him. I took the whole day off work, luckily. Fat Boy says you had a salesman who was a friend come over and told you to trade in your car for a white 19 Scat Pack. Yeah. Cossack, most of the Tesla mods are just like cosmetic stuff. There's different spoilers and there's treatments for the one thing I might think about doing is blacking out all the chrome on it. There's got a lot of chrome on it, which is kind of weird. Um, a lot of cosmetic stuff and interior stuff. There's not much as far as there's a performance upgrade from Tesla that you could buy that you get over the air, but I don't think my model, the one exact that I bought, has it. It's like $2,000, and it's for the dual motor ones though, which I don't have. And I think it gets you from like a 3.70 to 60 to a 3-second 0 to 60. But it's $2,000, which actually for that much of improvement is not really that bad. But yeah, there's lots of cosmetic stuff for it and things like that. But since it's all electric and electric motors and all that, there's not a lot of like performance mod stuff for it. It's got those aero wheel covers on it, which give you better range, and the wheels underneath are pretty nice. They look pretty cool. But if you take the aero covers off, um, you get quite a drop in your range. So I'm kind of getting used to the way the aero covers look. They don't look too bad. And since she drives it on the highway a lot to work, if we were just driving around town, I probably wouldn't worry about it so much. But yeah, let's get a bumblebee. I'll get a Hellcat logo on the side. Motley is in the house. Hello, Motley. Hey, Chad. Take care, man. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you coming in. Motley's in the house, and Chad's leaving. We're looking for a set of floor mats for it now. Something kind of nice. It didn't come with floor mats. You'd think for a car that costs that much, it would come with floor mats, but it does not come with floor mats. It used to come with adapters for all the different charging things that you can find around the country in different outlets. It does not come with all of them anymore. It only comes with one. They've really cut back on some of the stuff that they used to give you with the car. They no longer, the price has stayed the same, but they've taken some stuff away. Trying to think what else. There's a couple other things that they no longer give you with the car. I forget now. I guess that's one way of keeping the price from going up. They just take stuff away from you. So right now we are just plugging it into the regular household outlet there in the garage, which takes a long time to charge it that way. There's a bunch of other things we can do. We may have something installed for faster charging. We can also run a cord to our dryer outlet and do it that way. It will give us about 3 times faster charging. Anyway, it's there's some different things we can do. For right now, we're just going to stick with that until we decide what exactly we want to do about getting it charged up faster. But you can run everything from your phone if I'm in the house. I'll show you. I don't know how well this will show up, but hold on. It's just showing you a reflection of yourself. There's the car, and then tells you what the temperature is out there, and you can turn the climate thing on. You can turn the heater or the air conditioner on from here, and you can control the car. You can see how fast it's charging, and it tells you where the car's at, the address, and you can schedule service appointments and stuff from here. What else does it? Does all a bunch of other stuff. There's all these controls. You can honk the horn, flash the lights. You can start it from here, which it doesn't really start anyway. You can open the trunk or the front trunk from here. You can put it in valet mode. You can put sentry mode on, which turns on all the cameras. So if anybody walks past it or gets too close to it, it takes video of them. You can limit the speed limit. You can So if you're letting someone else drive your car, you can control the speed to whatever the high speed you want to let them go is. And it's kind of cool. Whoops, that's my work one. I don't want to show you that. So right now we got 222 miles of charge. And then it also has the key card, and just in case your phone dies or something, you still get the car to drive and do everything. And you can also buy a regular key fob for it, which is fairly expensive. I think I don't know that I would do that, but it is available from the company if you want to get it. If you want the traditional, like more traditional type key fob and everything, you can do that as well. But like if you leave that sentry mode on while it's sitting out there, it'll charge slower if it's charging, and if it's not charging, it'll run the battery down a little bit. It uses some of the battery obviously to run that stuff. So, and there's some tricks to, like when it's cold weather, like if it's been sitting out all night in the cold weather and you want to drive it, it's good for the battery to actually turn the car on and let it get warm inside, because that also warms the battery, and the battery performs better when it's warm. So if you pre-warm the battery before you drive it, it's what you're supposed to do. There's a lot of things to kind of learn and figure out as we're going on. And I read up and watched a lot of videos before we got the car, but I'm still way behind on figuring out exactly what I need to do. There's a few little tricks here and there. The stuff that I've seen too, like I can't remember what that one guy said. I gotta look it up again, that kind of stuff. Like I remember there's a way to do this, but I can't quite remember. Can I back it up with what do you mean back it up? Like make it move? I don't know if it has a 0 to 60 timer on it or not, but I did a little pull from a dig earlier out on the highway. I stopped and it gets up and goes, and it's not even the performance model, but it threw me back in the seat and it got up and moved. Yeah, I don't know if it has a timer on. I'll have to figure that out. I don't think it does. I haven't seen anybody talk about that. So yeah, it's nice to be able to get it ready before you go out there. I guess that's good for the car too. So yeah, if you have I don't think we have that. There's what do you call it? I forget what the mode's called, but you can make the car come to you. Like if it's parked in a parking lot and you want to stay at the front of the store or something, you can make the car drive up to you where you're at. I forget what the hell it's called. I'm too tired to think right now. But I don't think our car will do that. You have to have the automatic. We don't have full automatic driving. We only have the semi-automatic driving that comes with it, that keeps you in the lane and brakes for you and stuff like that if you get too close to stuff. But if you get the full package, I think you can do the summon mode. It's called summon, where you can make the car come to where you're at. But I've seen videos of that where it has some glitches. I've seen it drive over medians and and things like that. So probably not something. I'd be too scared to use it anyway. I don't trust technology that much. To a certain point, I do, but I'd just be terrified it'll run somebody over in the parking lot or something. But there's lots of videos on of people like in their office building or whatever, and the car's parked way out there and it's pouring down rain. So they do the thing, and it pulls right up to the front door for them, and they jump out there and hop in it. It's kind of a cool feature. Like I say, I'm old school. I don't know if I trust it. I'd be afraid it would run somebody down or something like that. And there have been, like I said, there have been some glitches with it. Sometimes it doesn't sense a median or things like that. and you can spy on your significant other. I think there's a way to turn it off from the car, but I can always tell, and she can always tell, right, exactly where the car's at, how fast it's going, is it stopped, is it parked, is it charging, um, what the temperature inside is, the address that it's at, and all that kind of stuff. You can turn that off if you don't want to do it, so you can have privacy. But oh yeah, so yeah, if you were big, yeah, that could be cool too. If you were a tight parking spot, or if you're a bigger person or something and you needed the room, you could back it out. And yeah, I've seen that too. It just backs it out of the parking spot, makes it easier to get in. I forgot about that. I have seen some things about the Tesla Model 3 where people in cold weather climates have a little trouble with it. It's got those weird door handles, and people say they get iced over. It's a door handle where it's flush with the door. You push it in, and the other part pops out, and you grab that part and pull. People say that it's which people get amazed by that design. Like it's such an innovative design. Well, my dad and grandfather and brother had old Pontiac Grand Prix from the 1970s that were the exact same design, just almost very, very similar. The door's just flat. You push it in, the other part of the door handle pops out, and you pull it. So it's not exactly a new design, but Tesla people think it's a brand new design, but it's actually been around a long time, like almost 50 years. But yeah, it's flat, so people say that it gets like iced over, like in an ice storm or whatever, and it's hard to, you know, push in to get it to pull out. There's a few things like that I've read. Some little bit of trouble in the cold weather. Although the Challenger, if it sits outside, which mine never does, but the couple times when it has, it can get a little tricky too. That the window where it seals around really gets, for whatever reason, that car seems to get a lot of ice around there and makes it a little tricky to open as well. Yeah, Becky, it's weird how these people think, oh, it's such an amazing thing. Who would have ever thought of that? It's like the guy who thought of that probably died like 30 years ago. That's an old design. There's a real, I think I've talked about it before. There's a on the Tesla forums, and Tesla people are just kind of strange. They all think that it does a lot of things that just no other car can do, and there's a few things, but a lot of it's just the same thing, maybe a little bit different way. So they're all so amazed that you can just have your phone on you, and the car will unlock when you walk up to it and open the door without having to do anything. It's like my Challenger does that just from the key fob, and a lot of cars do. Most cars and trucks now do that, so I don't know why they're so amazed by that. I don't got to pull the key out to start the Challenger or the Prius or anything else. I don't know where they're getting all this information that's an amazing feature, but it's not. I mean, it's cool. It's very common. I'm old enough to remember when you had to have a key to get in the car and a different key to start the car. Or the old GM keys, the ignition one was this little square on the end, and the door handle one was like a round or oval shape. And the Ford, I think, was the same way. If I remember right, I had an old Dodge, like a '79 Dodge, that I think it was the door handle key and the ignition key were the same in that. Yeah, I think. Yeah, see, Fat Boy remembers those times too. Yeah, Becky, I think a lot of people, there are a lot of younger kids, and they're amazed by things that. I mean, it's a cool car. I'm not. I mean, obviously, I bought one, so I obviously like it, but I feel like saying, guys, calm down. It's not. It's different. And it's cool, but a lot of this stuff is available in other cars too. Yeah, I think it's a lot of younger kids or people. What I do see is a lot of younger kids buying them and they can't afford them. I see them talking about the deals they're making, the things they're doing to try to get the car and their credit scores, and they're you know they're not putting any money down on it. They got not a very good credit score, and they got like a 7 or 8 year loan, and I'm just like, man, I don't know, guys. I don't want to rain on anybody's parade or anything like that. But you might be better off to buy yourself a nice couple $1,000 used car and save up, or give yourself some time to get into a better position. Yeah, 70 GTO keys were like that. All those older cars, most of them, you had to have two keys to operate the car. Yep, I had the good old, yeah, it was like a stop sign shape, and I'm pretty sure in that Chrysler, in that Dodge I had, I can't remember for sure, but I think that was, I think, the first car that I ever had that only had one key. I think. I could be wrong. I'm getting old now, and that was a long time ago. And then you could go get a key made back then really cheap. Now they've all got a little things in them that cost a fortune to get a key made, and then the key fobs are outrageous. I think the key card for the Tesla, if you lose it, I think it's pretty expensive to get it replaced. It's just a little credit card looking thing, but I think it's expensive if you lose it. You've each got one. Yeah, everything's different now, but yeah, no key at all. I suppose eventually your car will just be able to read your facial recognition or eyeball or pupils or whatever, and you won't have to have anything. You just walk up to it and it'll know it's you and it'll let you drive. Has anyone seen any 2020 Challengers in the dealerships yet? I have not. I haven't been around any dealerships lately. Yeah, gas was 88 cents. Good point, fat boy. We could go cruising when I was a kid. Go cruising. We cruised it was called Nevada Avenue in Colorado Springs. And we could put $5 in and drive all night in a big gas guzzling V8 American huge car. Throw in $5 and drive pretty much all night up and down the street, and enough to get back home afterwards. Showing my age. You saw some 2020 Scat Pack Chargers? Cool. I haven't been hanging around dealership much lately. I used to stop in every time I got near one, but actually I haven't really had the car out much, so I need to pop into Dodge dealership soon. I think the last time I really hung out at a dealership at all was with you, Fat Boy, that day last whenever that was. Was that in the spring? I can't even remember. It's been a while. That's the last time I think I spent any time on a car dealership lot. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was springtime because it was pretty nice, but it wasn't hot yet. Yeah, and they had that nice Scat Pack sitting there. Mm-hmm. for sure, for sure, for sure. And well, let's see. I did spend a little bit of time at the Tesla dealership, or not dealership. They call it a store or boutique or whatever the hell it's called. But we didn't buy the car there. But yeah, the whole car purchase was weird. Don't even have to go to a dealer to do it. You just do it, which is strange. It's still strange because we don't have all the paperwork yet, and we're driving the car around, which is also weird. But I see that dealership all the time, Marshall, because I could driving down the interstate there, down to Newton and back all the time. But I don't really have. I'm not supposed to be stopping in the company cars to look at cars. So. Yeah, that kind of sucked for her. And it was supposed to be at 1 o'clock in the morning on the 19th or 20th or whatever it was. I can't remember now. It's all a big blur. But yeah, they showed up. I was in. I was about 80 miles from here. She was at work about 65 miles from here, and they call her and say that I was on my way back this way, and I get a message from her that says, "Call me ASAP." So I stopped and called her. She said they just called. They're going to be at the house in 45 minutes with the car, and I was like, "What?" And anyway, luckily I was on my way back here, so I hauled but got home. They were a little bit late too, which worked out actually okay. But and it's weird because they tell you over and over you've got to have both people there. If you're, whoever's on the registration or whatever, they both everybody has to be there, and you have to have proof of insurance, which we didn't have. We had insurance on the car, but I hadn't gone. They hadn't sent the proof, and they just said, "Well, just the office is like 4 blocks from our house." So they said, "Well, just swing by here and grab it." And I was like, "Okay." So I was going to do that before the delivery, and then so the dude's coming, and I didn't have her here. I didn't have the. And he said on the phone to her, he said, "It doesn't matter. I can just drop it in the driveway if nobody's there." We're like, "Okay." And so didn't need any of that stuff. I did have to sign for the car, and I apparently if I hadn't been here, they were going to leave it anyway. So, but just weird, just kind of strange. The whole thing took just a couple of minutes. He walked up, he drove up, got out, had me a clipboard, said sign there, print and sign. I printed and signed. He says, "You know how to drive it, or do you need me to move it for you?" I said, "I got it," which I didn't, but I thought I did anyway. And he says, "Okay, I'll see you later." And he walked back to his truck, which was a couple of blocks away. Interesting. Well, we had to do a walk around. He said, I have to have you walk around it real quick and make sure everything looks okay." So I did that real quick. So yeah, the whole thing was just a couple minutes. A little different. When we got the Challenger, we had to do like that was quick too. We were only in the dealership for a little over an hour, maybe, or somewhere in that range. But they take you out and they show you all the features of the car and how everything works and go over everything so you know how to use all the Uconnect and all that crap. It's just like tossing you the key. There you go. Cheers. Bye. But yeah, the timing was weird. But you guess you got to do what you got to do. So she wasn't here, and luckily, thankfully, I was, and I could have not been because I was at a job where I couldn't. Basically, I was trying to hook up with some other people that I was supposed to be hooking up with, and I couldn't find them, and everything was nobody knew what the hell was going on. After like 7 or 8 hours, I decided to just go home. So I was like, well, this is ridiculous. I'm not just going to sit here out on this dirt road in the middle of nowhere for any longer. I'd already been out there for 7 or 8 hours, and so I was like, I'm just going to go home. If they need me, I can come back because I never had any contact with anybody the entire time. And luckily, something told me to go home because I started heading home, and that's when everything was. It was like, wow, it was crazy. So I'm glad I was here for it. And yeah, well, that was crazy. That was one of those like nice downtown areas, like the little trendy store areas down in those downtown areas of big cities. Those You know those places with the expensive restaurants and little boutique stores and uh, all that stuff. And there's like nowhere to park on a Saturday, obviously. So I said, well, if you get lucky when you come back and there's a place to park, go ahead and park it. But if not, just leave it in the turn lane over there. So that's what we did. That's where we picked it up too. That's where we drove it off from, and that's where we left it. When I went to work last night, there was a kitten crying underneath the vehicle I was taking for work. And he's just under there crying and crying and crying, or he or she, I'm not sure, crying and crying. I couldn't get it to come out. Finally, I got it to come out from under there, and I picked it up, and it looked pretty sick. Its eyes were all gross, and it looked sick, and it didn't look good, and it seemed sick, and it started following me around a little bit. It ended up inside the depot, and I had to go. I couldn't get it to come back out of the depot, and so I finally gave up as there's nothing in there. It's kind of like a warehousey looking place. There's really nothing in there that it could hurt. Anyway, when I got back today, I went back in the depot to turn in the keys, and that cat was in there and it had passed away. And it was kind of gross. So I had to scoop it up and get it out of there. It was pretty not a good way to end the shift. It was a cute little cat, but I could tell there was something majorly wrong with it. But I was surprised it was had passed away by the time I got. It was 15 hours later, but that was kind of sad. I took a picture of it and sent it to Kim because she doesn't like cats very much. I was wanting to bring it home, but I sent her a picture of it last night. I said, "Look what's on. Look what's going. You know, it's down here crying. I don't know what to do. I don't want to leave." And so I sent her a picture of it. And she just said, "No, no, no." I wasn't really trying to say let's bring it home, but I wish I could have found somebody to. Yeah, it must have been too far gone. It did look pretty sick, so it had been dead for a while when I picked it up. I can tell you that because it was like a piece of cardboard. Todd says your salesman couldn't drive a stick, killed your car twice with me in the car, just driving. The first thing I did in the Scat Pack when I went to drive it was I killed it. I drive sticks all the time, but I tried to baby it too much because I was afraid to get too aggressive with it when I was pulling off the very first time, and I killed it. I was like, oh, how embarrassing! They probably thought this guy can't even drive a stick, and he's buying a stick. That's what I prefer to drive, but like I said, I just babied it too much. I didn't give it enough. I was like, okay, let me try that again. So my very first attempt at driving the Challenger was a fail. And somebody had already driven the Challenger about, I forget what the top speed, because you could look at what the top speed the car has been driven to, and it already had a top speed of, I think, 90 miles an hour or something. I was like, somebody drove this 90 miles an hour already. And I mean, it had like 17 miles on it. Yeah, and then I couldn't move the Tesla. So yeah, my first experience. uh, yeah, Todd. Like when I got in the Challenger, I was like, okay, this thing's powerful. It's got a lot of torque. I don't want to hop in, rev it too high, and drop the clutch and like squeal the tires or anything. So I tried to baby it, and it's like, boom, boom. It's like, oh, jeez, how embarrassing. Oh well, haven't hasn't happened again since then. So. Having a manual is a good theft deterrent because a lot of people can't. Most people can't drive them, so and nobody asked you to drive your car. Oh yeah, I think it's in third. It'll still take off in third though, just not if you're babying it. But if you're trying to, yeah. And then of course you're supposed to break it in by not going over. I forget what it was now, 55 miles an hour or how many RPMs. I can't remember. But we pulled out of Marshall Motors in Salina. We went to eat. I think we went to, I forget where we went to eat. Anyway, we went to grab some lunch. And as we were leaving the lunch place out on the main road there in Salina, this pickup truck with a kind of rednecky looking guy and all these redneck looking kids pulled up, and all the little kids were like hanging out the window yelling at me. And they're like, get on it when the light turns, get on it. It was brand new. I just wasn't supposed to be doing anything with it yet. But of course, all these little kids wanted me to, so I did. So the break in period didn't last very long. I was pretty nice to it after that for a couple days, though. When kids ask you to do stuff, it's always like, okay, it's kids. I have to. I forgot to step on the brake, Becky. Oh, man. Yeah. I drive so many vehicles now. Sometimes I hop in one and I forget what I'm driving and I do something wrong. Like you guys saw in the video, I think I showed you that I keep trying to put the cider into sixth gear. I've done it a couple times. I got to go into sixth gear. There is no sixth gear. And then I used to drive a forklift all the time too. So I drive a forklift all day long, and I'd hop in my car at the end of my day. And if you drive a forklift, you know how you go forward and reverse. It's in the same place where your turn signal stock would be in your car. So I'd hop in the car and try to use that to go forward and reverse because it's just been that way in your brain for 8 hours or 10 hours or whatever. And I talked to a lot of other people who drove forklifts, and they said they do the same thing. Yep, especially kids, and then like even adults. Though a couple months ago, I was driving by the local Mexican restaurant here in town, and just putting by, and this guy came out in the street from his car. Him and his girlfriend were getting leaving the restaurant, and he's like trying to get me to, and I was like, no, no, and I was just rolling. And then I kind of looked around to make sure it was safe and there wasn't any people around and there wasn't any police officers around. There were no kids on the street or anything like that. So I just literally punched it just for like just enough to kind of spin the tires up, and then I got back off of it. But he's like, yeah. Yeah, try to find a clutch in an automatic. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff like that. Becky says you drove your Sunfire after you sold it to your ex and sat there looking for the button to push. Jump in a manual car and go like this. Wait, oh, it's down there. There's a lot of stuff. Just drive too many cars. Now the Tesla, to go in reverse, you push the stock up, and then to go forward, you push it down. And then I can't remember, twice down is cruise control, two flicks down. And then I think if you hold it down, it goes into neutral. I can't remember now. So you had a Sunfire. I heard, is it true that those cars, you have to take the tire off to get to the battery? Someone was telling me that. I've never had one. I don't know if that's true or not. I know I take the tire off the Saturn on the. I take the passenger side front tire off to change the oil because the oil filter is a real bitch to get to from underneath or anywhere from above or underneath. So if I pull the tire off, I can pull the plastic back and reach right in there and grab it. So that's what I do. Is it just makes it way easier. It's easier than it's in a really weird, crampy, weird spot up in there. It's a pain in the butt. So you don't have, somebody was telling me on the Sunfire you got to take the, I think it was the driver's side tire to get to the battery. I thought that can't be, but who knows? It is GM after all. So. Falling asleep. Okay, I'm awake. I tried to take a couple naps when I was working last night because there's times when they're just waiting for people, and I dozed off a couple of times, but it wasn't for long enough. Just to the point where you realize, oh, I think I'm sleeping or something, and then you wake up, starting to dream just a little bit. It helps a little bit though. I think those little cat naps can help. I'm not very good at them though. I'm always, I don't know. I have a hard time dozing off unless I know I can sleep for a while. So I'm going to take the Challenger out tomorrow. I think I'm pretty sure the weather is supposed to be good. I have to double check, but I think it is. So I'm going to have it out and about. Maybe do some video. Hopefully, the Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays makes it pretty tough. I'm doing those 15-hour days. Makes it a little tough to get a video out on those days because just to make like a 10-minute video is about depending on how complicated it is. Some of them are pretty easy, but it's usually 4 hours or 3 hours for an easy one, 4 or 5 for a little more complicated one. Sometimes longer editing, and then the once you got it edited and you have to process it, get it ready for upload. That takes a while. Yeah, I got to get those all gathered up. I got all those emails, and they're spanning like 2 months now. So I got to go back through a whole bunch of emails and get the pictures off of there and everything, and get that. I need some ideas for videos anyway. So there's one right there. I can do that. Whenever I make some of those videos, then I usually get a lot more pictures right after that too, because people see that video and then they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna send them my car." Ooh, 58. That'll be nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna be like 40s or 50s tomorrow too. So I'd maybe get her to the car wash. Like all my car wash home stuff is all winterized and put away for the winter. So I go to the car wash now if I have to do anything, which doesn't really get clean, but it's better than nothing. Our car wash here, it's a small town and there's farmers and there's guys with their big 4x4s, and so a lot of times you go to the car wash here and all the stalls are filled with mud, so you can't even really pull in there. They pull their equipment in there and they pull their pickups and stuff in there and knock the mud. It'll just be huge chunks. And I've shown you guys some of that before, I think. And it's like, well, I guess I won't wash. There's no point in pulling the car in there to wash it in the mud. And they come in. The guys who own it or whatever. They come in every once in a while and clean that all up, but they're not enough. Especially if it's been snowing or raining at all. Everybody comes in and knocks all the crap off their equipment and their big trucks, and it sucks kind of. But and the automatic car wash does pretty good. It's non-touch. It doesn't. Nothing touches the car, which is nice. But I think it's like $12 now, and it doesn't do the greatest job. It's a little disappointing to pay $12 and then pull out, and there's still crap on the car. Becky's car has been in one of the videos a while back, quite a while back now, I guess. Yeah, I need to do that video, and then maybe that'll get me some more pictures sent to. I usually get a few videos out of that when I start doing them again. It's usually good for 3 or 4 videos before it starts to die down a little bit. I can't think. It'd say viewer rides on the title, but I've got a bunch of those. Hers would have been, I don't know, Becky, when was that? 6 months ago? I can't think. Maybe longer than that. They all will say like viewer rides somewhere in the title, but there's a bunch of those like that because I did quite a few of those videos over the past, I guess, couple of years or so. I think I was the first YouTube guy to do other people to do viewer rides videos. I'm not sure about that, but I think I was. Now there's quite a few, not a few. There's a few people doing it, but as far as I know, I was the first one. I could be wrong, but I didn't steal that idea from anybody. I thought of it myself. So if somebody else was doing it, I thought I was being original. Like I've seen where they do, collaboration videos with friends or whatever, or people that they know. But as far as having people, just viewers, send in their pictures. Yeah, look through those videos. I can't think what that one would have been called. There's so many; they all blend into one. Some of them are pretty much dedicated to just the viewer rides in that video, and some of those videos will be like half of it will be the viewer rides, and the other half might be about something else. So it's a little tricky sometimes. Just depends on how many I have. If I have a whole bunch, I can make a whole video out of it. Sometimes, and other times I'll do like some news story or something else, and then at the end or whatever, there's some viewer rides in it too. I do like doing those. I always say that. I just got to get back to it. It's a little bit time consuming getting all the pictures and doing all that. It's not that hard, but it's just a little tedious. But I like it though. Oh, you got the orange intake headlight intake rings. Cool. Yeah, send a new pic. As far as I know, I was the first one to do it, but I can't guarantee that. Nothing's really original. Everything in the world's been done already. So, what was that company? I forgot. I want to get colored fog lights for mine, and somebody came in. I think it was Scalia Motorsports guy came in a couple weeks ago and told me about this company. I wrote it down. I'll have to check that out. Hey, David Summerhill, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to everybody. Thanks for coming in, man. We're having a little bit of a slow night because I'm so tired. I'm not talking much. I apologize. I'm a little bit out of it tonight. Kind of a little mellow pre-Christmas chat here. What was the name of that company? Yeah, Evil Bee Designs, I think. I have this vision of colored, like green fog lamps on my car. Don't know why. I saw a truck with them a couple weeks ago. It looked really cool, I thought. Oh. Oh, I also have a semi-sponsor type thing for the channel too, which I got to make some videos. A little off the car topic, but I'll incorporate the cars into it somehow. It's for us old guys. It's uh, hair color for. It's a new company that's trying to compete with, like what is it, Just for Men. So I'm going to. I have the stuff. They sent me all the stuff. I need to do that video, but it's going to take. Kim's going to have to help me with that one. It's going to take somebody to run the cameras, so you guys will see me in my bathroom dyeing my beard. We'll incorporate that into the car thing somehow. My midlife crisis cars, along with my. Motley, take care, man. Merry Christmas. It's pretty gray right now. Merry Christmas, Motley. I wonder if let's see, Christmas is what, Wednesday? I might try to get back in here. I had a couple other companies contact me about things, but there was stuff that just really I couldn't use. So I keep getting this one company with exterior lighting, like for 4x4s and stuff. I don't know why. I don't know why they're sending me stuff, but I don't have a 4x4. I'm not putting like that kind of lighting on any of my cars, so I don't know why they keep hitting me up for some reason. I don't know if they got me confused with other channels or something, but they're probably just sending it to all the any auto channel they can find an address for. I can't remember. There were a couple other things. There's some phone holders, like those, the things that hold your phone on the dash or whatever, but they all involved screwing, attaching things onto your car, which I don't really want to do. I don't want to put any holes in anything. So I turned them down. A few things like that. Hey, Tail Happy, what is going on? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, you're late. We're almost done. Been a little slow tonight. I haven't been saying much. I'm exhausted and I'm delirious, and it doesn't feel like a Sunday. And I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I think it's just because I'm so tired. I'm hoping that's all it is. I think I just need sleep. I did have two guys in the. I was driving two guys the other night. They were in the van for about 40 or 45 minutes, and they both said they thought they had the flu. They were wanting to get back to the hotel because they needed to sleep, and they both felt sick, thought they had the flu. So I'm hoping that they didn't, because if they did, I'm probably going to have it. Yeah, somebody wake me up. Somebody slap me. I'm trying to think what the other. I've had a few of those offers lately to do stuff, but like I say, most of them I don't want to. I'm not that concerned with having a phone holder in the car. I don't really want to review one. I don't want to screw holes in anything or anything like that either. So I passed on that one. Oh, family stuff. Okay, well, let it slide then, Tail Happy. It is the holiday season. I'm trying to get into the holiday spirit. I guess everybody else here is probably all Christmassy, right? You guys are all feeling it. My son's back, so that's good. He'll be back till the 3rd of January. And then he goes back to his base, and he's wanting to get out when his time's up. but he's also scheduled for deployment right at the same time that he's supposed to be getting out. So that could be interesting. We'll see what happens there. Good. Becky's bah humbug too. All right. I don't know what my problem. I'm not really anti. I'm just not feeling it. It's, a lot of times this time of year, I just kind of want it to be over with, and I want the new year to be over with and just get started on back to normal. Like January 2nd, it's like, all right, back to the normal stuff. You got white sheets for Christmas? Oh, okay, guys, I think I'm going to head out of here. I'm feeling kind of sick, so I think I'm going to head out. I don't feel so hot all of a sudden. Thank you all for being here. Merry Christmas. If I don't see you again, I think I'll try to come back before Christmas, though. I got a couple days to get on that, so we'll do another live stream. Ooh, man, I don't feel good. But thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate it. Sorry I was a little tonight, but take care, guys. I really appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate all your support, and send me pictures of your cars if you haven't already. And good night. Merry Christmas. I'm sure I'll see you guys before that. I'm going to try real hard to do that, but if not, for some reason. Take care, guys. Thank you so much. I totally appreciate it, guys. Ooh, I don't feel so